20 goons and ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debate.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Giants. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff is right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think that if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
Here's a 2nd and 7. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The numbers for Green a week ago: 5 catches, 94 yards, and a score.
And that TD just added to his tally. He's got more receiving touchdowns than anyone else in the NFL.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Quick throw, complete out wide here to Green. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there and a first down. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means he's confident.
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose.
I'll plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. A look at the starters now on the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. They're a top 5 unit right now against the pass in the league. In fact, they sit at number 5.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is third and long, though. They'll set up to throw. Finding Green complete. And it's a fumble. And who's got it? The Giants!
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now Jones. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense run out, force a turnover.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And I guess we're back to square one. A rocky start here. A turnover followed by a turnover.
Not exactly what we expected going into the game, but I always wonder about the nerves and people starting, the emotions of the game. Sometimes it takes a little while for that to play out and for them to settle in. Let's hope that that's taken care of now.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Mixon with a first down carry. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque.
Yeah, I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that. People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception, but not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Back to throw here. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. John Ross, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And New York set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Touchdown, defense. Hey, look.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries and even 60 yards and a touchdown.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on them.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
18 Gator. 65, 65, 65.
Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss it.
Trying for right, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. Past the 20. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole, because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, his 4th touchdown on the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October, because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Check 31, check 31.
A second down run with Lewis. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Jones on third down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10 from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And out across midfield down to the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Here we go. 8-3. Christian Travis.
They'll run on first down. Mixon. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Out of the gun now on third down. And able to find Green. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. This quarterback now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Looking to throw. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen?
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now, Bengals on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. He'll look to throw. This is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal.
Get it.
And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh. Recon 132 fighter. Hey, exit. 36. Yeah. Rock it. Lead grip.
2nd and 1. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Auden Tate, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Bullet good on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-zip. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run. This is Lewis. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On 1st and 10, Jones. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. Give him 18 there, and the Giants have a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
1st down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
57.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. That's complete to Slayton. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. As they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Extra point up and good by Suckup. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team, keep your offense moving at a really high level, and it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
This quarterback now still just the 1 incompletion, 16 of 17. It's first down. They go back to the ground now with Mixon, able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but his top 2 options were not available on that throw, so he went the safe route. Worked out pretty well.
It was like you were in the pocket. How about you going through the progressions like that? What a lot of offenses say, touchdown to check down. Look downfield first, bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Not easy for a rookie to do. Oftentimes they get 1 look, and they make their decision off of that. He went through 3. That was impressive.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And New York set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now Jones from the gun on 3rd down. It's caught. Shepard. he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue. Jones now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Throwing, Jones completes this again to Shepard, and he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 1st down, Giants on a pickup of 14. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Jones heading up here 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. From the gun, Jones, complete to right. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. And he's got it. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, people going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them, they get scouting reports, they start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call, because he's a known entity. See how they defend him going forward. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Hey, foxtrot, lead river.
They'll set up a throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And now it's 2nd down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to do it?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction.
And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, where it was the Browns who were winners in that one at home. Baker Mayfield, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. A 3-touchdown differential in the end, 35-14, the final. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NYG Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Duke Johnson, a touchdown run in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really...
Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Darius Slayton with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Mixon. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And to the 40-yard line return stops. Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. The 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. He's got Lewis. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play. Well, 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They got the victory last week. That was against Jacksonville, and they lead this one as well right now. Out in front here, they've got it 1st and 10.
Go! 55.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Mixon will try the right side. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Now back to throw. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And now that'll kick out of bounds, and this is going to be spotted back at their own 30. Oh, man. The New York set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Holding offense. So So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Looking to throw. Jones. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync.
Trying for right, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Go! Bravo!
They'll drop to throw. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw here. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And New York set to take the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Jones on 1st and 10. Catch made by Slayton. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards, good for a giant 1st down. Jones now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Jones finds his tight end Ingram. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards, the final tally.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On the handoff, here's Lewis running right. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Dion Lewis, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Mixon with it. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now, Mixon, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz,
and look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long, got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
They go play action here on 1st down. Wright's got it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 17 yards and a giant 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones, that's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 23 yards on the play. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. And the ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. Now Lewis. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for 3rd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we're looking at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though.
I got you, 88. I got you. You're ready?
Here's Jones. Going to throw on 3rd and goal. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Dion Lewis. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Giants have taken the lead. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich, at Maryland in college. Did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and I was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball. Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4. Hey, here we go. Check.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
The Bengals on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 17. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Kyler Fackrell drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is brought in at the 21. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things out.
He'll get 15 and a Giants 1st down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that a team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
The Giants on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's been a load for them to handle defensively, I know that much.
Well, look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit because not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them to handle?
That's right.
Agreed.
7 catches, as you said, over 100 yards. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. He completes it to Tate. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. But they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Open man is Ross, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down. And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
10-2 stop. Check in. Look at me. Door. Check nickel. Hey, echo. Check 13. Line 28.
Back to throw. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Again, it's Lewis. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll indeed take a knee. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
60 outlaw. I'm coming after you. Shoot.
And they will take a knee here. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Down to a knee goes Jones, and that should just about seal it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Giants, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.